Yo, what's up everybody? This is Unpunk bringing you a review on Apex Legends. Now, we've spent almost a week with the game. With its surprise release, I am very impressed. To be honest, I give this game almost an 8 out of 10, just shy at 7.8 out of 10. And don't worry, I'll break down into multiple categories, 4 specific categories. I'm going to break down each section of the game in this review, going through what I liked, what I didn't like, some pros and cons of each of the different categories, like weapons, the map, and the looting system, the gameplay, and then the characters and abilities. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet, so let's get right into it. Alright, so the first category here is going to be the weapons and their attachments and the overall of that. Now, there are some fantastic weapons in this game, and then there are some that just really feel completely useless. Weapons like the Flatline, like the R301, the Spitfire, the EVA, full auto shotgun, absolutely wreck enemies, very great accuracy if you get some attachments from like a barrel stabilizer and things along that, which there are 4 categories of attachments that are possible for depending on what type of weapon you're using. There are barrel stabilizers, there's an optic, there is a stock, and then there is an extended mag. Of course, those are completely going to change depending on what weapon style you are using, so not all weapons will be compatible with all types of attachments. But as you can see right here, this Flatline is just laying out enemies. It has so little recoil. It only has an extended mag in it and the optics on it. It doesn't even have a barrel stabilizer, so just imagine it with a common or legendary. It would absolutely wreck the competition. Now, there is some guns that I like, but only for early game or for close quarters, and that would be something like the alternator or the, I believe, the E45 pistol, something, SE45 pistol, don't remember the exact name, but things like that are good if you're using them in a clutch or a close quarters situation, last resort kind of thing, but I wouldn't put them as a primary weapon. Guns I stray away from personally are the pistols because I really don't like them. The Mozambique shotgun pistol I think is terrible. The Peacekeeper shotgun I just think has way too slow reaction time and switching between shots and things like that to make it a viable option to use. But overall, the weapons and attachments work very well and very simple in this game, and it tells you easily if you have the correct attachment already and if you can pick up the one that's on the floor, whether it's a better or worse of that attachment. So that way you guys don't have to really compare too much, look in your menus a lot. It's very easy to pick out what you want to use and what you can equip and things of that nature. So I rate the weapons and the attachment an 8 out of 10 overall. Alright, next up we have the map and the looting system. Now, the map overall looks really cool, it looks fun, it looks fresh, the style is nice, but the map doesn't seem very well full of loot. There is a lot of just barren, empty areas that you can't really pick things up. It's a little lacking on loot in general. You can open up a whole building or open up 3 of the little supply caches and only get 1 weapon from it. And I think that needs some balancing. So on the map and the looting itself, the system for looting is fantastic. It's easy, it makes sense. It's, again, the attachments and all of the different things you can hold are very clean, crisp, and they show you if you can use it or not, and you don't have to check your weapon, check your inventory to see if you can attach that. It will tell you if you have a better or, you know, worse version of whatever the attachment or item is. So it's really easy in that aspect, but I think there needs to be some overall increase of loot around the map. There needs to be more spots that you can get loot because a lot of it's barren, and I know the fact that there is 60 people only in a match, but it just feels like everyone seems to always drop in the same spots. All of the named locations are really the only spots in the map that you're gonna get loot from. If you go to a no-name location or a hut or a little thing off on the side of the map, you're most likely gonna have enough maybe for one person, but being a trio squad mode, it's very hard to drop in those no-name locations because you're really not gonna get set up, and then if you meet another team, you're most likely just gonna get straight wiped because it's just too hard to get a gun or get a decent weapon right off the bat unless you drop in those name locations. So that's why I would rate this a 6 out of 10 for the map and the loot that is around the map and spread out, because overall it's just not quite enough, I don't think. And I think the name locations need to be more plentiful. I don't think there is enough locations on the map. Too many barren, empty spots where you just have nothing you can get. The next category is going to be the gameplay overall in this game. And this gameplay, let me tell you, I really, really enjoy. Now, whether it's the weapons you got, you know, whatever section of the map you're in, it feels nice. It looks clean, but also simple and not overwhelming. I know that certain games like Blackout, you know, go for a more realistic look, whereas this one's a little bit cartoony, but kind of a hybrid between the Blackout style as well as like something like Fortnite or Realm Royale. It's a nice medium to where it's not overly demanding on your console or your PC, whatever you're playing on, and it looks good majority of the time, doesn't have a lot of screen tear or anything like that. The movement overall can be very customized, whether you want to customize your button layout, your movement speed, your, you know, different settings. There's lots and lots of customization for whatever your play style is. Now, the gameplay, the only drawbacks, the reason I'm giving this section a 9 out of 10 is the some of the abilities and some of the control bindings that you have to do just feel slow. Whereas when you're switching weapons, it feels like it's just too slow. When you're transitioning from certain things, it feels a little bit rough, and like opening doors can sometimes get a little stuck or a little glitchy. So things like that are the little nitpicks I'd say I have for it. And then the biggest thing is when you are using, whether it's a ultimate ability or grenades or things of that nature, you either have to change your bindings, whether when you're playing on like at least a controller, you have to change your bindings so that you can use your grenades easier. I personally switched mine to where I can use my right trigger to throw my grenades, but it doesn't actually work that simple. You have to first use your right trigger to pull the grenade out, or hold it to select which one or secondary, you know, weapon ability you want, and then you have to press your other trigger, your R2 in my case, to throw said item. So it feels very sluggish in that aspect, and it's not easy to just chuck a grenade or chuck one of the throwing stars or an incendiary grenade. It's very time consuming, and you have to be more tactical, which I think should be sped up, and I think it should just be the press of one button to be able to pull that out and throw it. I don't think that you should have to do a double button combo. The same with the ultimate. The fact that I changed my trigger to being my grenade, I now have to press up on the D-pad and L1, which is very, very annoying to use an ultimate ability, and it can be hard with your hands to press those buttons, especially in a crunch situation when you need that ultimate to save your butt. But overall, I really enjoy the gameplay. I think it is very smooth and very nice, especially for a game that just came out right off the bat. Some few tweaks, and I think this will be one of the best playing battle royales in my opinion, and that's why I rank that with a 9 out of 10. Now, the last category is going to be the characters and the abilities that they have. Now, there are 8 characters that you can play and use in this game, 2 that you have to unlock by leveling up or purchasing them via real money. You can buy the Apex coins to go ahead and purchase them immediately, which is what I personally did, or you can go ahead and grind. It takes about 23 levels to get your first character, and probably till about level 46 or 47 before you'll be able to get both characters. So max level being 50 takes a little bit of time, but it's completely free, so I appreciate that they give you the opportunity to unlock all characters without having to spend any real money. That is something that this game does very fantastically, allowing you to unlock almost everything except for a few different weapon skins and skin types that are currently available in the shop that rotate weekly and daily depending on which ones they are. But let's not get into all that. That can be a video for another day. Now, some of the characters that I really like are going to be the Wraith, with its abilities being very tactical, focused on stealth and moving around. I really like the Lifeline because it allows you to use a drone to heal your teammates, and defensive care packages to give you better equipment, which is fantastic if it is used correctly. The Gibraltar is also very fantastic as an offensive character, with having abilities like the airstrike and the defensive shield that it can put up. Basically, if you use that shield from a distance, you're going to be very well protected, but enemies can walk up and shoot you once inside, so you just want to use that one tactically. But it allows for an awesome opportunity to use tactical abilities like you see right here on the Wraith, where I just threw a portal for my teammates that were still finishing up looting, but allows them to quick travel through my portal so that way they can catch up and not get hit and stuck in the storm, and allow them to basically stay caught up with the team, but they can spend a little more time looting. So if you pick a good squad, you get a good squad together and get 3 different characters that work well together, this is going to be an ultimate game, ultimate battle royale for you, because it's really, really team focused and ability focused if you match the abilities up well. Now, things like the Caustic character, I think, are absolutely terrible right now in their current state and just need a buff. I mean, his abilities are almost exactly the same for his regular and alt, except for his regular is almost better than his alt, because you can throw up to 5 canisters around that are like booby traps, allowing you to go ahead and throw them down and defend a room or defend a house or something along those lines. So if someone comes in, they get gassed out by his Nova gas and can get hurt a decent amount, but overall his abilities don't hurt the enemies that much. And his ultimate is just a big blanket of Nova gas, but again, it's very easy to see it and very easy to avoid, so things like that just really aren't that great to have overall. And they kind of just leave you feeling like, why is this character even one of the options? You're kind of just confused on, why would I even want to use that character? But then again, there's other characters that are just insanely OP, like Lifeline being able to heal you and your teammates and everyone all at once, or Gibraltar's airstrike being able to wipe out an entire team in one go. So overall, with some tweaks, I can see these abilities and characters being absolutely fantastic and allow for so many different play styles that normally you don't get in a battle royale just from your characters. This game overall just has so many positives to it, and that's why I'm rating the characters and abilities an 8 out of 10, and overall I'm leaving this game at a 7.8 out of 10 because it has so many good aspects, like its weapons and attachments are simple and easy to use and understand. The map and the looting needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of redistribution, and it needs a little bit of an increase in the overall loot and loot areas. And then the gameplay is fantastic with a 9 out of 10, just being so smooth, so good. The sliding feels right. Everything about it just feels so nice. The climbing, the way your characters move around is just so clean and crisp, and it's very refreshing for a battle royale. And then again, the characters and abilities being at an 8 out of 10 because there's some that are just a little too OP, I think, in their current state, and some that need a massive buff to make them really a viable option to use. Again, I really am enjoying this game. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'd highly recommend going out, giving it a download on Xbox, on PS4, on PC, whatever you play on. It's on all 3 consoles, and it is free. So again, everything you get in this game, you can get and unlock for free. There is only a couple items that appear in the shop that you can get only from the shop, but I might even be wrong on that, so correct me if I am wrong. But this game, you can get 99% of the items just by playing and enjoying the game, which I think is an amazing way to put out a free battle royale. But it also allows you to purchase things quicker if you'd like to have that advantage and spend real money and want to invest in the game and support the developers in that way. So again, I'm very impressed with Respawn. You guys have done an awesome job with this. I'm going to leave you guys off here. drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new and want more reviews. We're going to have top 5s. We're going to have gun class setups. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming on this game in the future. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notification bell on if you guys are enjoying this game and want to keep up to date. We'll be covering each season as they come out. We'll go through their battle pass system if they end up adapting one, which I assume they'll have something like that in the future. And we're going to go through all of that with you guys here over the coming months and years, depending on how long this game lasts. Again, this has been your friendly neighborhood Unpunk, and we'll see you soon. Peace.